Welcome back, design students. In this video, we're going to finish up creating the face of this penguin by creating a beak and a mouth and some eyebrows. So to create the beak, let's start with a rectangle, and let's get in the middle of the page here and create something that looks, let's go ahead and create a square. Hold down Shift, create something that looks about like that, and then snap it into the middle of the face, and then grab the rotate tool and rotate it like so that it looks like a diamond. And then we're going to right click and convert this to a path. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And then I'm going to come up here, let's get our sub-select tool, and we're going to create a beak. So move this up like that. Hold down Shift and grab these two and move them up like so. Maybe pull this one down a little bit more. And now we're going to convert some of these into curves. So select the one at the top and come over to the joint menu and convert this to a mirrored curve. And then we're going to grab this one and convert it to a disconnected curve. Actually, convert it to a mirrored curve and then a disconnected curve, because we need to be able to pull that in like so. And we're going to pull this one down like so. And then do the same here. For some reason, it won't give you two handles when you just convert straight to a disconnected curve. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. Maybe pull the beak down a little bit more. And now we have a beak. So we're going to fill this with a linear gradient. Click on the fill swatch, select linear gradient, make it kind of an orange yellowy color. And then change the black swatch to yellow. We want to grab this and rotate it around like so. So it's the opposite of what it was, because we want the highlight to be consistent with the light, which is from this direction. And I might grab this orange flag here and make it a little darker. I'm going to click this one and make it a little darker. So maybe make it a little redder. There we go. So you end up with something like that. And now we can make the mouth part if you want him to have an open mouth. That's really easy. We're going to select the pointer tool now and select the beak. And while we're in here, let's go ahead over in the layers panel and double click the beak path and rename it beak. And then we're going to hit Control C, Control V and make a copy. And we're going to rename the copy mouth. And we're going to lock the beak layer by clicking on the lock here, because we're going to edit the mouth layer. So if you lock this one, then you can click on this one without fear of selecting that one. So we want to lock the beak and select the mouth. And then we're going to get the direct select tool or the sub select tool, and we're going to pull down that mouth like so. Now the beak needs to be on top of the mouth. So we need to unlock the beak layer and pull the mouth down so that it's below the beak, like so. You can see right clearly what's going on here. So now that we can select the mouth, we don't need to lock the beak, but select the mouth, and we're going to put a border on it. And the border, get your eyedropper tool and select that sort of orange color. And then the fill for the beak is going to be a gradient, but it's going to be a different color gradient. It's going to be kind of a red gradient like so. Sometimes Gravit doesn't like to change. Glitches when you try to change the fills. So it's going to be a red gradient like so. Red to pink. This one is going to be red as well, but make it a little pinker like so. And then you can move that gradient around so you can see it a little better. And now we need some nostrils. Nostrils are really easy. Let's zoom in a little bit and grab the ellipse tool and create an ellipse like so. And then rotate it like so and position it. And then we're going to fill this with one of these red colors. So I'm going to grab the swatch and sample that red color, and then I'm going to put a border on it. And the border we're going to color like this orange color and maybe make it not quite so thick. Can I make it a half a point? Let's see. I might have to type in 0.5. Yes. So there's our nostril. Now, we can size the nostril by holding down Shift and grabbing any point, or Alt and doing that. But now to make the nostril for the other side, it's very simple. We're going to hit Control-C, Control-V, or Command-C, Command-V on a Mac to copy and paste. And then we're going to flip it horizontally and then move it over to the other side. Now we have nostrils. And when we zoom out, our penguin now has a mouth. So let's very quickly do eyebrows while we're here. We need to blur, so we need to make sure we're not zoomed in too far. And to make eyebrows, we're going to grab an ellipse and sort of get in the general area of the eye, hold down Shift and Alt and do like that. I'm not holding down Shift at the moment because I wanted to make it more elliptical. So now I've got an ellipse, and I'm going to copy this ellipse, Control-C, Control-V, and I'm going to move it down a little bit. So now I have two overlapping ellipses, and you can see this part right here. So I'm going to hold down Shift to select both of them, and then I'm going to come up here to the Pathfinder tool, or the Union tool, and I'm going to select Subtract. You can clearly see what that does. And then we can resize that a little bit. And now we can blur it. I'm going to add a blur and change the opacity a little bit, because all we really want is not an actual eyebrow, but sort of a suggestion that there's an eye ridge there. And now all we have to do is copy it to the other side and mirror it. Control-C, Control-V, and then mirror and move it to the other side. And there you go. We have a penguin face. Now, penguins do have ears, but their ears they don't stick out. They're like holes covered with flaps, so you wouldn't see them in this case. So in the next video, we're going to start to create the body, and I'll see you then.